having his statement about Conor's manager coming to MVP and trying to set up a fight, but them not doing it because it's associated with the UFC.
Jake Paul drops a bombshell about a potential fight with Conor McGregor, just when you thought his antics couldn't get any more outrageous. This time, he boldly claims he's ready to face McGregor in the ring. Yes, you heard that right. But the conditions he's proposing have left everyone scratching their heads. Banned. Collaboration between boxer and fighter.
He doesn't want to push for unless the UFC is directly at the table negotiating, because quite frankly, that's what it's going to take for any of this to be a reality.
Jake Paul has somehow convinced people he's a legitimate boxer, and now he's setting conditions to involve UFC or Dana White, or else nothing will happen. Seriously, Jake? Now you're aiming for Conor McGregor, a man who has dominated both MMA and boxing, but with strings attached? Could this be the fight fans have been waiting for, or is Jake just hyping up his next big announcement? So, in his latest curveball to the combat sports world, Jake Paul claimed that McGregor's camp is desperately trying to arrange a fight with him. What's more shocking is their alleged approach. They're reportedly bypassing the usual channels and enlisting Bellator superstar Michael "Venom" Page as a mediator. Yes, McGregor's team, with all its resources and connections, reaching out through a rival promotion? It's not just surprising, it's downright jaw-dropping.
Having his statement about Conor's manager coming to MVP and trying to set up a fight, but them not doing it because it isn't associated.
But in true Jake Paul fashion, he didn't do what everyone expected. Instead of chasing McGregor's attention like a dog after a bone, Jake flipped the script with a bold move. He demanded that UFC and Dana White get involved. That's right, no UFC, no fight. Jake wasn't just playing hardball, he was ensuring he got exactly what he wanted, if not more. This demand left everyone scratching their heads, wondering why Jake suddenly insisted on involving Dana White and the UFC in his spectacle. Let's be real, this is Jake Paul we're talking about. His entire career has been built on shaking things up and disrupting the status quo.
Just saying, for the UFC to grant Conor McGregor the right to fight Logan Paul, and Dana hates the Pauls, you know how Dana holds great.
When Jake Paul calls for the UFC's involvement, he's not just flexing. He's strategically leveraging the UFC's global dominance, like a chess master making a calculated move. Dana White and the UFC bring far more than credibility. They offer worldwide reach, institutional influence, and a fan base that spans continents. However, the two teams themselves are put to render in mandate and meet the UFC's global dominance like a fan base that spans continents. It's a strategy that aligns with Conor McGregor's own playbook, as he's shown by calling out entities like WWE. Let's face it, you don't become a global sensation with a few knockout wins over YouTube stars. The trade laws come at a distinct advantage when so many lawsuits are based on
Dana White clause attached to this contract for Conor McGregor and Jake Paul, or Conor McGregor, Logan Paul. None of this happened.
By throwing down this gauntlet, Jake Paul is executing a masterstroke. He's forcing the UFC, the very organization that once dismissed him as a sideshow, to acknowledge him as a legitimate contender in the fight world. He's not politely asking for recognition, he's demanding it. There's also, suddenly, the biggest sports promotion on the planet is faced with a tough choice. Ignore him and risk missing out on the spectacle, or take the fight to a global audience. Either way, Jake is shaking up the game, potentially rewriting how fights are negotiated forever.
You guys see the Logan Paul, Conor McGregor wins in that fight? I think Logan Paul.
I mean, we haven't seen Conor fight in a while.
I feel like Logan Paul, at his size, when he fought Floyd too, that was years ago. He's like been training. He's in insane shape.
Man, I wish Conor wasn't doing these types.
As if the Paul McGregor rumors weren't already swirling, another layer of intrigue has emerged about where this mega fight might happen. According to ESPN's Salvador Rodriguez, the highly anticipated bout between Logan Paul and Conor McGregor could take place in July, August, or September 2025, and in an unexpected location, India. The driving force behind this potential spectacle? The Ambani family. Renowned for their immense wealth and influence, with the Ambanis reportedly backing the event, this fight isn't just shaping up to be another showdown, it's poised to become a global phenomenon.
I think, $100 billion family looking to kind of replicate what's going on in Riyadh season in Saudi Arabia. How they're pushing into boxing. India with that kind of money, maybe trying to do.
Choosing India as the venue isn't random. It's a calculated strategy. India is one of the fastest growing markets for combat sports, boasting a massive, untapped audience eager for more. By bringing a marquee event like this to India, the promoters aren't just targeting the country. They're making a bold statement to the world. This is where the future of global sports lies. Andi. 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 And then there's the money. With the Ambani family involved, this isn't small change we're talking about. Boasting a staggering net worth of $113.5 billion, Asia's richest family could fund this event without making a dent in their telecom empire. Hosting this fight in India isn't just about putting on a spectacle. It's about rewriting the financial playbook for combat sports. Jake Paul and Conor McGregor wouldn't just be trading punches, they'd be making history, all while basking in the glow of dollar signs and rupees. End quote.
First, it just came out. Conor just put it on Twitter that he was in talks with the Ambani family to fight local.
The timing? Absolute perfection. With no major global sporting events stealing the spotlight, in mid-2025, all eyes would turn to India. This isn't just a fight, it's a power move, an epic, money-soaked spectacle that could redefine where and how the biggest bouts in history take place. Now let's break down the fighters set to square off. On one side, Conor McGregor, the man who conquered 2 weight classes and became a global icon. On the other, Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer who's somehow managed to convince the world he's a legitimate threat. McGregor's fighting style is as flashy as his persona, built around his devastating knockout power that's ended many fights in a flash.
He's a big dude and he can crack.
Yeah.
And I always say that people look at him like a guy who is a YouTuber and they're denying his skills.
Not anymore, bro.
Then there's Jake Paul, who's carved out a boxing career that's impossible to overlook. From social media star to legitimate pugilist, Jake has turned heads and stirred controversy. As of November 2024, his professional record stands at 11 wins and just 1 loss. That single blemish coming at the hands of Tommy Fury in February 2023. Not bad, right? So Jake is trying to purify himself, as he calls it, and make his way back into the fighting game. Some people claim he has a flaw, like let's not forget his amateur victory over Deji in 2018, boosting his overall tally to an impressive 12-1. Sure, some may debate the caliber of his opponents, but whether he's taking on seasoned fighters or sparking online drama, Jake Paul is undeniably one of the most talked about names in combat sports. And don't leave Logan Paul out of the mix. From pulling pranks on YouTube to trading punches with pros, Logan's journey has been nothing short of unique. He fought KSI twice, and the result? A draw and a split decision, leaving fans still debating who had the upper hand. And the science behind why that is? Logan has half his brain working together during a match, plus the stress of the process, usually increasing the intensity of the press, leading to more likelihood of brain damage. From pulling pranks on YouTube to training pet...
One, it does show us that this is a Jake Paul-driven thing going on here, and that Conor McGregor makes sense because he's probably still one of, if not the biggest name in combat.
The million-dollar question is, why does this matter? Because Jake Paul isn't just calling out Conor McGregor, he's throwing down the gauntlet to the entire UFC establishment. By demanding UFC's involvement, Jake is directly challenging Dana White's monopoly on combat sports, while daring him to recognize Paul's most valuable promotions as a legitimate player. This isn't a small move, it's a calculated power play designed to disrupt the traditional dynamics of fight promotions. The ripple effects could be massive. If Jake gets his way, it could open the door for more cross-promotional mega events, breaking down barriers between independent fighters and corporate giants. Picture a world where MVP and UFC collaborate, merging Jake's social media expertise with UFC's global reach. It's a bold vision that could forever shift the balance of power in the fight game.
Logan said you might be next. Would you be next?
Slap the nose off. He's gonna beat Logan.
The fight between Jake Paul and Conor McGregor isn't just about egos. McGregor's public image has taken some hits recently. Legal troubles, sponsorship losses, and a series of lackluster performances in the octagon. A fight with Jake Paul might seem beneath him, but it also presents a chance for McGregor to remind the world why he's still the notorious. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is playing chess while everyone else plays checkers. His callouts aren't random, they're calculated. By targeting MMA legends, he's positioning himself as the ultimate disruptor. The guy who doesn't just box but rewrites the rules of combat sports. What makes this rivalry so compelling isn't just who would win in the ring, it's the narrative. Jake, the social media provocateur, challenges McGregor, the king of combat sports chaos. It's legacy versus disruption, the old guard versus the new wave, and most importantly, pure entertainment gold.
As crazy as it sounds now, based on how I felt about this 4 years ago, that Jake Paul would give Conor McGregor real problems in a boxing ring and potentially knock him out.
This rivalry could completely change the game. If Jake Paul faces off against Conor McGregor, it's not just a fight, it's a blueprint. It would prove that cross-discipline matchups can work, that social media stars can stand toe-to-toe with seasoned pros, and that the fight game is evolving in ways we never imagined. Whether you love it or hate it, you can't deny the impact. This is more than just a rivalry, it's a revolution. One thing about boxing, the one thing for sure, is Jake Paul bluffing, or is this fight closer than we think? With all the drama, speculation, and jaw-dropping twists he loves to throw in, it's hard to say. So what's your take? Does Jake actually stand a chance against McGregor, or is this just his latest stunt to stir the pot and grab headlines? 6 games in. Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't go anywhere because we'll keep you updated on every twist in the Paul brothers fight schedules and the potential game-changing role the Ambani family might play. Buckle up, because things are about to get even crazier in the fight world. Apollo.